Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go over my gear review here. This is just the loadout that I take with me. I also picked up a few baits to try out today that are a little different than from the norm that I normally take out with me. As you can tell, I do have some of these poles already lured up and ready to go. Today is a little bit of a gloomy day, so I'm not really sure exactly what the fish are going to be biting on. Also, this is just an overflow pond in a very small area. It's kind of a local fishing area, so unfortunately a lot of people come out here and do a lot of fishing. So the fishing is not really exactly the greatest, but it's just a good time and it's fun for me to get out here. Also on this video, I apologize in advance if the audio is not very well. I forgot my mic. So I'm a little disappointed with that, and I'm pretty far away from home. I'm not going to drive all the way home just to go get that mic. And I'm hoping that this video sounds okay. If the audio quality isn't that good, I do apologize again. The future videos that you see from me will have that mic. I won't forget that again. I will put that in my bag. So let's go ahead and get started on the gear loadout that we have here. This is a Maxpedition bag, if you can't tell. It is a very, very tough and rugged backpack. It is not necessarily a fishing backpack, but it's one that I've sort of dedicated to a fishing backpack. So let's do a little rundown. As you can tell, I got the poles affixed to the outside. There's molly webbing on the outside out here that you could probably attach maybe like a rod holder or a pole holder or something like that and kind of affix it a little bit better. But on the sides of the bag, as you can see on my Lew's Mach 2 pole there's just the compression straps, and that literally is what is holding my fishing pole to my bag. And might not be the safest or the best fixed position that I could put that on, but it's going to be what works for me. So if it's something that doesn't work for you, you may want to try and get something for the molly webbing to put inside there, but it works for me. So let me go ahead and jump into the other side. The other side just has an Abu Garcia pole with a Shakespeare Exiom, or Exiom. Not really sure how you pronounce that. Hold on, let's see if I can get it into frame. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It's an older bait caster, obviously. It's not one of the newer, fancier ones like this Lew's is. So, but there is two of my poles. I also take a third pole with me. This is an Abu Garcia Black Max with I think it's a Tour KVD Quantum pole. Now this Black Max I've had some issues with. This fishing pole was bought from, I think, Walmart maybe, and this reel I've had some issues with. As I was casting out with it, I would get the reel itself would not lock into place. It would fall back. It kept wanting to unspool itself or go backwards when it shouldn't be going backwards. So again, this reel I've been having some issues with not working properly, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that's been wrong with this reel. It was a good reel for anywhere from 2 to 3 years, but here within the last year I've been having issues with it back spooling on me. At least that's what I'll call it. Instead of the reel stopping, it allows you to reel backwards, and it shouldn't do that. It should lock and not go backwards at all, but for some reason it was doing that. And what I did was I tore it apart and I looked at the gears on the inside, and I had an O-ring, or like a rubber ring, that was kind of broken. So I took it out hoping that since it was broke, I might be able to get by with just not having it in there at all. And so far it's worked, which is strange because those O-rings are important inside these fishing poles. But anyway, enough of that. That's that reel. My main go-to one is my Lew's currently right now. Let's go ahead and dive into the bag. Now, you're probably not going to see a lot of my face, which is okay because I don't have a very pretty face anyway. Again, this is a Maxpedition bag. You can literally get these bags off of Amazon anywhere, all over the different places. I have turned this bag into a fishing backpack. I have a Plano, I think this is a medium-sized box, maybe a large. I think it's a medium, I can't remember for sure, but they have like large, extra large, medium, small, super smalls. We'll go over some of those. And I got a lot of different lures inside here, as you can tell. Nothing necessarily defined for certain seasons, but I do have a lot of different lures in here that do adapt and are used for different times of the year. So there are those in the back of the bag. Now this is in the main compartment right here. In the back here, there's a little mesh area. This is where I put a lot of soft plastics. Also in this main compartment up here, in the front of it, I also have some other soft plastics. If I choose to do so and find a fish that's good enough to keep, I do have my fillet knife with me if I decide to fillet it up. Now also the nice thing about this backpack too is it has a water bladder area. You can put a Camelback or any kind of water bladder that you may have with you, which is nice on hot days when you're out walking and maybe you're fishing shorelines instead of out of a boat. Now in the second compartment, I have a smaller box, which is what I keep most of my spinners in. The box is kind of designed for spinner baits, so that's why I have those inside there. I have one soft plastic that's so big that I can't really fit it anywhere else, so it kind of just nests in with that hard box. I have a pair of gloves, which is also inside this second compartment. I have a multi-tool. This multi-tool is pretty nice. It's a Pocket Rescue tool by M48. I've literally had this forever. I'm not even really sure where I got it. I probably got it off of Amazon. I've never really used it, so I have a glow-in-the-dark bobber. I very rarely bobber fish, but my kids do, so they think glow-in-the-dark bobbers are cool. In the front compartment up here, I just have a small Texas rigged or Texas rig style hooks. These are all just different sized hooks, different colors, and some slip sinkers down here in the front of that, if you can see that. And that just sits up here in the front. It is literally like the perfect size for that compartment. Also now down here in the very bottom, or in the front compartment, I guess you would call this like your maps area and stuff like that for the tactical backpack people. If I'm getting that wrong, don't crucify me. I just have some pole sticks here. These literally just go together like this, and then you can rest your pole on that for bobber fishing. I have some live bait spray, a knife, pair of pliers, just a regular pair of Rapala or Rapala, some bug spray, an extra spool of fire line. A lot of people probably, you either love this or you hate this stuff. This is the black kind, it's not the crystal. I have the crystal on my Lew's pole. I'm a firm believer in fire line. Some people don't like it, some people do, it's whatever. Some more bug spray. And one more knife. Just a little snap-on knife. I just use that to cut line and stuff like that. Now I do have some Thermacell fuel and Thermacell packs, or the mosquito stuff. You guys know what that is. I'm sure most of you do anyway. It's nice having those things, and sometimes when the bugs do get real bad and you're trying to fish and you just walk into a whole patch of mosquitoes, I can use the molly webbing on the side of the bag to attach that Thermacell and kind of keep it downwind of me and not really blowing so hard in my face. So that's pretty much the loadout that I'm rocking right here on this bag. Now again, this isn't, I mean, this bag's 160 bucks or 170 bucks. It's expensive. So is it really a fishing bag? Probably not so much, but to me, Maxpedition is just such hardware gear. It's so good for massive amounts of abuse. That's literally what it boils down to. This bag just takes a beating like no tomorrow, and it just keeps on ticking. The bottom of it hasn't blew out on me. The zippers, I mean, this thing gets so overloaded with different fishing tackle, and these boxes, you know, fit in there just barely right. And I have not blown a zipper out. I have not blown a zipper tie off, a buckle. Nothing has broke on this bag, and it is absolutely phenomenal how good of a bag this is. Now, I do have cheaper gear that I could use, or I have a plastic, like Plano tackle box that I could take with me, but it's so bulky. I've noticed that the backpacks are really where it's at right now for fishing. It's, well, for a pond anyway. Now, if I was going in a boat, I probably would be okay with that Plano tackle box, because it's, I mean, it's just the go-to. That's a lot of people around here, Plano, I mean, that's kind of how it's always been around here in Indiana. And now other states, you know, you might have a different kind of brand that you go to and stuff like that, but for me, it's always been Plano. I could take that tackle box on a boat with me all day, every day, and have no issues with it. I can take this backpack with me on a boat all day, every day, and have no issues with it. But for walking around a pond, for fishing off of the shore, for hiking in or camping or something like that, this backpack works really good for me. I can throw it inside my canoe, I can throw it inside my kayak, I can take my hiking backpack with me plus this inside the canoe and kayak and just do whatever it is that I need to do. Now, if I'm hiking in for some miles and not really, you know, hiking in to fish necessarily, I probably would maybe just take this little container, throw a few little odds and ends inside of it, and then take one pole with me. And that's not the case today. Today is just a simple walk around the pond fish type thing. Now, with all that being said, and me being super winded and just going on and on and on 100 million miles an hour, I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough that you can hear me. I need to quit hitting the table too. I can see it bouncing the camera. But I've also went and got some new, I got a white Z-Man chatterbait. I've got a Booyah, which looks sort of like a bait fish, or a, bait fish, bluegill, crappie, something like that bass would eat. I've also got a swimmer, which is kind of going to be like a trailer that I put on one of my chatterbaits that I have. I'm going to see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll take it off. Don't judge me on how I fish. This is just how I'm doing it for today. And then I have this. I like the willow drops. Some people like the round spoon, the Indiana spoon, or what do they call it, Indiana or Minnesota or something like that. It's like a round one. I hate those. I hate them. The willow drops are, that's just always been what goes good for me. So, and this one's gold. Instead of being 2 silvers, this one's gold, so that's kind of nice. My first cast out today is going to be with this, black and blue, with a little bit of flaking, blue flaking, or like, I don't know, I guess you'd call it flaking or something. And I'm gonna try one of these swimmers on the tail end of that and see how it goes. It may or may not work, I don't know. Maybe it'll ruin it for me, I don't know, but we're gonna try it out today. So stay tuned. I will be back with my awesome impression of Bill Dance casting. So stay tuned. Legendary Outdoors.